Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Bebop here. Today's video is going to be about how to make tanking more fun. Now, if you're a DPS and you haven't gotten used to tanking because it looks boring being in heavy gear, low damage, well, this will help you out if you ever want to convert over tanks. If you've been tanking your dailies, which is your 2 random mutations per day, or your 3 regular expeditions per day to get your gold, then try these sets out and get out of that heavy set and get into something a little bit more fun. Now, the whole setup with the gear and attributes and everything will be at the end of the video, and I'm going to speed this video up because the damage was very low, but you're going to see without any ward pod or anything, it's just fine, and you should not be getting killed in this. In Glacial Tarn, if you're doing an M2, the first, maybe last boss might cause you an issue here and there. If that's so, then feel free to go back to heavy. I will be coming out with a medium build soon that will help you out with that, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully y'all enjoy the video and let me know what you think about the build. Look at this. Glad y'all decided to show up.
Watanga lupes hatanchis. Ye yama wangshus kirtagor.
How long does it take to switch to the flail, dude? Jeez. So slow.
Insane loot, dude. We gotta farm him again. Let's keep going. Man. If that's not just like a problem with New World most of the time, like the loot is so underwhelming. I guess if you drop something amazing every time, it would be kind of broken, right? But how did it go? Yeah, it's crazy. It's such good loot, man. I'm definitely gonna come back and do that again. Really good loot. Definitely worth the 1 million hit points that he has. Okay. Nah, I mean, a lot of people showed up. I feel bad for the chat. People in chat were like, whoa, oh my god, this is a cool enemy. Everybody shows up, gets a tag, and then just gets scammed. Blame Bebop, okay, chat? Sorry, if you showed up for that one, it's Bebop's fault. What was the loot? It was a purple rapier, 580 gear score, a gray mount attachment, and a blue pair of gloves. So yeah, pretty insane stuff all around. Rugby says the first time you should have listened to Rugby. Well, I'm sorry, Rugby, but it's like the boy who cried wolf, right? I mean, how do I know when I can actually listen to you, Rugby? There's some changes that I want to make to this build. They didn't save. Voracious Blade is definitely one of them.
All right, let's go over the gear. We're going to start off with this first set. You can always use a hammer. I wouldn't recommend that. I've had that in there for forever and just hadn't replaced it, but that's a leeching taunt gem. But we're going to go over the moves here. If you farm the willpower from Tempest, that one actually has refreshing move and thwarting strikes, either one, and then you put Southern Clear Out on there, and that will be your go-to hammer. I like to run the flail here at times, especially in Glacial Tarn, because you want to have the extra movement speed and the grit abilities whenever you're doing the flail attacks. It's really nice to have, and it helps speed you up to get you to the next fight. Now, these light setups, I did one that was great sword tanking, then one that's sword and shield tanking, and then I did a heavy tank down here, so I'll kind of go over all three. I'll do a medium one soon, because some people are interested in a medium build, and I got a pretty good one. I just hadn't made a video on it. So let's go over the gear real quick. We're going to start off. I have Enchanted Ward, Slowing Rupture, Refreshing. A 4 out of 4 refreshing, also important. So Slowing Rupture, do you need it? Nope, but it's on there, so it works out. I have a level 700. Didn't even upgrade this one because it's on my main account. I hardly even play on my main account anymore, but it's a level 700 featherweight. If you're going to upgrade this to 725 and you're looking for a perk to throw on there and you run a lot of dungeons, then you can look at Contagious Upheaval if you're a sword and shield main. If you're a great sword main, then, you know, maybe Relentless Freedom, because you can also use that in PvP. You know, it's up to you. We have Health, Enchanted Ward, Eliaver, and then we have Enchanted Ward, Refreshing and Health, and then we have Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, Relentless Freedom. Now we have Serenity, we have the Flail, we have Cunning Heart Rune of Stoneform, which this one is going to give you the extra Fortify, gain Fortify on activation, increase armor 10% for 5 seconds, and the Hardened form, gain additional 10% armor for 5 seconds per hit taking. I have Flame Protection, Fortified, and Health. I am running the Blood Drinker. I would recommend putting Keen Awareness on here, not thrust damage. I don't remember exactly why I put a thrust damage on there. I think it was a PvP thing a while back. I never upgraded to 725. Hadn't even really played with this much since Eternum came out, but I would go keen awareness on this always, so you can use it with pretty much any build you go with. The earring, refreshing toast, despise, regenerating. Despise, regenerating, and fortifying toast would be Biss, and you can farm that earring at Bane's over there in Eden Grove. And I also like to keep strong oak flesh bombs in case we're going into a big mob or whatnot. I can take one of these, help give me a little bit more physical protection. Now let's look at the attributes here for the great sword and flail. 300 con, and then 216 strength, 50 dex. I had already some dex gear here, so might as well just hit this dot at least. 5% critical hit chance, and then the 5% base damage while at full health, and then just put the rest in strength. That way it helps out your flail or your hammer if you're running the hammer. All right, the great sword abilities you'd want to go with would look like this. There you go. And you can put those in whatever order you want. But that's how to run. You'll have Calamity, you'll have the Bleeds, you'll have the Rupture, and then you have Relentless Freedom. And you'll get your cooldowns back a lot faster on this side. If you run on this side, your cooldowns are going to be really slow, but always run the left side. Unless you're in PvP, then you can do the right side. The flail, I have it set up like this. Feel free to choose whatever you want to. If I were you, the trip would be probably better than the arcane eruption, because the trip's going to add rend, and it's going to give you 15% rend for 5 seconds on target, and granting 15% fortify on self for 5 seconds is so good. And then follow up with a heavy attack. I'm not a huge flail enjoyer, so I'm not even going to try to tell you the exact trait. Now, hammer, I have it spec'd out for the sandworm. I don't feel like changing it, but shockwave, clear out, armor breaker. We used to run wrecking ball and have the fourth ability be armor breaker, so we can switch to that on bosses, but wrecking ball is just absolutely terrible now. So all you need is shockwave down the tree and clear out down to here, or if you want the haste, you can do that too. Now, sword and shield, I have set up like this. I have Defender's Resolve, I have Whirling Blade, and I have Upheaval. Now, you could go with Shield Rush over Whirling Blade. That's up to you, okay? But the sword I like to use a lot is this one, the Butcher, and it has Empowering Whirling Blade. So if you're not using that, then don't use the Butcher. If you would rather go Shield Rush, that's fine. Then you would want to go with a sword that would be like Keen Vicious Refreshing Move. I think I have one on me somewhere. Maybe I deleted it. Oh, no, it's gone. Keen Vicious Refreshing Move would be the sword you would want to keep on you. And then that way you can use that and get your cooldowns quicker. Now, also, I do have this round shield that you can farm, Tempered Disruption. It comes with Refreshing Move, Arcane Shield Ward, /Shield Ward, Shield Aggression, okay? You can farm this at Great Cleave. Right up... Oh, I'm sorry. It's in Shatter Mountain. So you go up to the top of Great Cleave right here. And you'll come over here into this area right here, and that's where you would farm it. For the sword and shield setup, the gear, basically medium head, medium gloves, light legs, and medium feet. Okay, that's going to get us at 12.5. Slash conditioning, Enchanted Ward and health, featherweight again. You don't need Keen Beacon, that's for a healer, but I had medium gloves. I had an opal in it, so I threw it in here. Enchanted Ward, refreshing and health. Enchanted Ward, refreshing and health. You could go with something with Contagious Upheaval, Fortified Shield Rush, or whatever you fancy. And then you can run whatever round shield you want. Got the hammer and all the same stuff you saw up here. Now, I would like to say keep an extra shield, sword, and all that on you, because if you're running Glacial Tarn, let's say you get an M2 and you want to switch to heavy for the boss fights. The first boss does a lot of strike damage. It's also a lot of ice, but this shield right here is just so good for that first boss. Fortified Shield Rush, Shield Defense, Strike Shield Ward, and Sturdy. The Strike Shield Ward and Fortified Shield Rush are so good against that first boss. Last boss would be Slash Shield Ward, because he does a lot of slash damage and ice damage, so you need to protect yourself from both. And you got Enchanted Ward and Sturdy, but the slash damage is huge. He does so much slash damage to you. Also keep an amulet on you that's frozen protection to give you a little bit extra survivability in the boss fights if you're not going to use a strike protection or slash protection ammy. If you don't use those ammies, then just use the ice one. For barnacles, you don't really need to worry about any of that on an M1 or M2. Last boss, you can maybe do a thrust ammy, but it's easy. And then the other dungeon, which is Imperium Forge, I would definitely say have a heavy set if you do an M2 for the last boss. First boss, you can do light just fine in an M1 and M2. Last set, or last boss, probably go with a heavy set and slash ammy also, okay? Or at least a slash shield ward, because that guy does a lot of slash, but there's also a lot of fire. So if you rock a slash ammy, it'll help you out a lot, make that fight way easier. The heavy build I got here is Enchanted Ward, refreshing slash conditioning. No, I'm playing Tarn and the last boss in Forge. Sundering Shockwave on the Void Dark Plate, which I hadn't even ranked that up. slash conditioning, and slash conditioning. And then all the same on this with slash damage ring. Now that I'm in heavy, I don't use the blood drinker because you're going to want to put down some damage to hold aggro. Try that out. Let me know what you think about these light sets. I'll bring out a medium set in case you're not having fun with the light set, or maybe you're getting killed too quick. I'll bring out a medium set here soon for tanking. And feel free to ask me any questions if you want. I'll answer all the comments back, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.